In this lesson we'll have a look at how we use worksheets within our Excel workbooks. Whenever we create a new workbook, Excel inserts 3 worksheets by default, but there will come a time when we want more than 3 sheets. And in this lesson we'll look at how we create, rename, move, copy and delete worksheets. So let's imagine we want to set up a spreadsheet that holds the information about sales from 4 different regions. So we're going to have sales for North, South, East and West. And to hold that information, we're going to need more sheets within our workbook. So let's start by inserting a couple of new sheets in our workbook. The easiest way is to hover the mouse over the new worksheet icon just to the right of the sheets that already exist. And if I click on this one, a new sheet gets inserted. So I've now got 4 sheets in my workbook. I'm going to insert the next sheet using the ribbon and the tools in the Cells tool group. I've got an insert button here and we can see that the insert button is split into 2 halves. I want to click the bottom half of the insert button and that will list the things that I can insert. So I can insert cells, rows, columns. In this case I want to come down to the bottom option and insert a new sheet. And when I click on that one, you'll see that sheet 5 has been inserted. Now don't worry at the moment if they're not in the correct order, because we're going to be renaming these sheets in a little while. So I'm going to create one more sheet by clicking the new sheet icon, and now I've got 6 sheets in my workbook. So let's start to rename these sheets, and we'll look at a couple of different ways we can do that. I'm going to hover over sheet 1 and double click, and when I do that, the sheet name is now open for editing. So I'm going to call this first sheet Sales North, and you'll notice that the cursor is still flashing, so I haven't quite completed the task yet. I need to press enter, and now sheet 1 has been renamed as Sales North. Let's do the same on sheet 2, and we'll call this one Sales South. But this time I'm going to right click on the sheet tab, and when I do that, the shortcut menu appears and I've got the rename option available in the list. So I'll click on that one, and just like before, the sheet name is highlighted and is now ready for editing. So let's call this Sales South, and again I'll need to press enter so that that name sticks. I'm going to name the next couple of sheets, so we'll have Sales East and Sales West. And I'm going to rename the final sheet All Sales. So I'll double click and type in All Sales. Now you'll notice that we created one sheet too many. So let's have a look at how we delete a sheet. If I click on sheet 6, again I can use the right click, and in the shortcut menu we've got the delete option. When I click on that one, the unwanted sheet will be deleted. So now we should have 5 worksheets in all. Sales for the North, South, East and West, and a sheet where we can summarize all that information from the other sheets. So let's have a look at how we can move sheets. I might want to put these sheets in alphabetical order, in which case East should come before North. So I'm going to select East, and then with my mouse hovering over the worksheet tab, I'm going to click and hold, and you'll see the cursor change and have the little document icon underneath the mouse pointer. And you'll also see a little black down arrow appear between the 2 sheets, and as I move my mouse across, you'll see that that arrow follows my mouse, and now it's pointing right at the beginning of the list of sheet tab names. So I'll release my mouse button, and East has been moved to the beginning. And as we're arranging this in alphabetical order, let's bring the All Sales worksheet right to the beginning. So again, I'll hover my mouse over the All Sales sheet tab, click and hold, and then drag the mouse back until we see that little black pointer right at the beginning of the list. I'll release my mouse, and now we've got All Sales as the first sheet in our workbook. As well as moving these sheets, we can copy them. So if I wanted a copy of the All Sales sheet, I can do that by right clicking. So I'll right click on the tab, and in the shortcut menu we have the move or copy option. And when I click on that one, that will open the move or copy dialog box. If I wanted to move this worksheet to a new workbook, I can select the workbook from the list. But as we only have one workbook open at the moment, we can choose to move within that workbook or to create a new workbook. I'm just going to leave it so that we copy this worksheet into the same workbook. So I've got the All Sales sheet selected, but I'm going to come down and click on the Move to End option. And if I simply want to move the sheet, I can click OK at this point. But my intention is to copy that sheet, so I'm going to put a tick in the Create a Copy option, and when I click OK, you'll see that a copy of All Sales has been moved to the end of Book 1. So I'll click OK there, and right at the end we have a copy of the All Sales sheet signified by the number 2 in brackets. Now we wouldn't need two All Sales sheets, so I'm going to right click on this copy and choose Delete. So now my workbook is set up and ready to accept the information that I want to enter for the sales for my different regions.